Hello, and welcome back to Open Everyone. And well, Shoot New York City is a guided tour by photographer Leanne Staples. And the tour specializes in places off the beaten track in neighborhoods like Harlem, Coney Island, and Dumbo. And that's just to name a few throughout the 5 boroughs. But joining us now to tell us more, we're going to welcome photographer Leanne Staples. Hello and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. So, let's start off with, I guess, a little background on your work as a photographer and your work as a tour guide. Just you as an individual before we actually begin discussing the actual style in which you're guiding right now, which I think is so fascinating. It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
I started in photography when I was 12 years old. My father gave me a camera, and it's probably the thing I know how to do best in life.
So you're saying you're self-taught,
Yes.
and basically it's just something that came to you.
It's a form of communication and expression. I don't really think about it consciously as much as just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, and you capture you have a very interesting eye. So your style of photography, it's documentary in a sense, right?
Yes, it's a combination of urban landscapes, street photography. There is some documentary and some photo-based art.
And so there's that artist component, and then there's this other component in which you're a tour guide. So now you tour the city, right? You've been capturing the city since what? You were 12 years old or so? I don't know if you've been capturing
Well,
it
I
that
haven't.
long.
To be fair, I haven't. I was born in Detroit, and I
Right,
grew up in the
right.
suburbs. I moved to New York City in 1979.
Right.
But certainly, about 8 years ago, someone contacted me from Amsterdam and said, you know, I'd really like to get a tour of New York City, and that's when it all started. My love of the city, of photography, people just started getting in touch with me, and I started a tour guide business,
Right,
photo tour
right, a
business.
photo tour business, which is the most fascinating, right? Because of course tourists come to New York, and what do they want to do? They want to capture, right? However, you actually teach them forms of how to capture so that they're capturing with these artistic eyes, right?
Exactly.
And you're taking them into neighborhoods that are not necessarily part of the tourist guides.
A lot of people say, Harlem? Really? They get scared about it.
How
And I'm like,
interesting.
it still is concept. Maybe it's television, maybe it's Hollywood films. People get this idea that it's scary. And I say, you know what? The people there are so friendly. I can't even tell you, East Harlem, the Puerto Rican festivals I keep running into. And we always talk to people on the streets. It's not really part of street photography per se, but I like to reach out to the people in the neighborhoods and let people understand, you know what? New Yorkers are fabulous. Very friendly people here.
So what do your workshops consist of aside from the actual tour?
Well, I mean, the tour is probably even almost in a way the smallest part about it. We talk about different aspects of photography. Some people come in and they know quite well how to use their camera. Other people need a little bit of assistance with that. For me, a big thing is composition. Composition. Everybody's got a camera in their phone now. People are, click, 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 and they're not really thinking about what they're taking. And I think to myself, how many photographs have you seen that really stick with you, things that you actually remember? And I think that's what it's about. It's about starting with the composition and getting photographs that you're going to look at and go, oh, wow, I did that. How cool is that?
And so what about subject matter? Do you identify what that subject matter is going to be even though you're changing locations? Like, is it going to be a building? Is it going to be...
Subject matter is everything is about location.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that are favorites for me. Architecture is, I wanted to go into architectural photography way back in the beginning. I accidentally got into street photography because people were walking into my photograph and I got impatient, which is kind of like how I am. It was like, okay, I'll try this out. I didn't know what street photography was, but I usually start with, you know, a window, a door frame, repetitive lines, you know, something that's the lighting, the shadows, some street art, something that really, you know, you go for the composition, for the background. And this is New York City. People are going to walk into your photo, like it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Which brings me to your this other concept that I read on your website. The what is it? The drive-by shoot.
Drive-by shooting. Well, that's another part of my impatience. Once upon a time, yes. No, you know, I want to be there. I want to be there now. I want to go out and take the photos. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. You know, and I started taking photographs from a moving train, from moving buses, from moving cars, you name it. I don't really care what it is. And yeah, I call it drive-by shooting, and I've been doing that for a number of years now. For me, it's a big challenge. You think, you know, if I can get that in focus, if I can get that looking good, and I don't really have the control over how fast it's going, and am I going to catch that shot? It's just, yeah, I pick up a camera and it's kind of like an extension of my body.
No, you have a very interesting site too. The way you capture is very fascinating, very fascinating. I was sharing with you off camera. It's, you know, my perception, having visited her work, was kind of almost like an alien visiting from an outer place, and I mean that in a complimentary
And
form,
I think that's cool.
because you're captured with these eyes of, like, you can see details that you wouldn't necessarily pay attention to. And so with that, I also wanted to ask, with the post aspect of some of your images, I noticed that you kind of had this one shot that you were shooting inside of this square peephole almost, and it just, you captured different things through that hole. And it was kind of like faded, and so I was wondering, was that one of your drive-by shoots?
I don't really know
which one. I know she's
that
like,
was.
She's like, I don't know which one that is.
You know, I got about 100,000 images.
And now, you know, and that's the other question. How many images do you take per subject?
It all really depends. I don't know. And I think that, you know, I shoot both film and digital, and I can tell you with digital, I probably always take about twice as many photos as I need to and then throw them out. I don't know. I think there's kind of a Zen thing that when you get into taking photos, you get your mind in a certain set, and you're focused on seeing the things that are going around you, and especially with street photography, but just taking a deep breath and kind of feeling like you're in the rhythm of what's going on. I can take a lot of photos and not even really think about it at all.
Because you're like in a zone. You go into a zone.
Exactly.
So how do people sign up for your workshops? And I'm really referencing the street photography workshops with the tour, because I think that's like so cool. Such a cool concept.
Thank
I really
you.
dig it, really. So how do people sign up for it?
I'm on my website, shootnewyorkcity.com, and also it's done through Eventbrite. So I always put down a blog post on all of the social media saying, okay, well, the next workshop is coming up on such and such a date.
So how often do you do them?
I'm doing about 2 a month.
2 a month?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's obviously a weekend, right?
No, it's just 4 hours.
Right.
It's always on Sundays.
Okay.
I think Sundays are usually a good time for people to get out and be able to do something like that. And it's for all levels, huh? I mean, some people, they come in and they've only been using a camera for a year. Some of them have been doing it for a long time. So, and we always have a blast, huh? We always have a lot of fun doing it.
And so what's the limitation of photography?
I go for like not more than 6 people, because I really like to be able to give a hands-on to everyone. I work with the group together and then separately as well.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Leanne.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you for making sure that the tourists that come in see the outer skirts of New York, or the heart of New York, right?
Yeah.
Because it's usually the urban community that's the heart of that. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
I thought you were.
I'm gonna let everybody know where to go to sign up for your workshop, and of course, you guys, to find out more on the walking tours, you can go to shootnewyorkcity.com. That's shootnewyorkcity.com, and for more on Leanne, you can visit her work by going to leannestaples.com. All right, so you guys, the 2016 Beta Awards recently honored the best in Bronx community television, and well, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights.
I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to be here tonight hosting this event where we celebrate you, the people of the Bronx.
The Bronx is a character, so everybody that loves the Bronx, make some noise.
Dozens of people gathered together to celebrate the 20th Annual Beta Awards at Lehman College Lovinger Theater. This year's Beta Awards theme was celebrating the cinematic heritage of the Bronx.
The Bronx is one of the earliest locations for films. There was a pioneering spirit. In the early days of cinema, movies were made in the Bronx by the first pioneering filmmakers, and we're recognizing that tonight.
The Bronx Excellence in Television Access Awards has spent 2 decades honoring men and women who produce independent programs for air on BronxNet. I got a chance to speak with a few nominees at the awards dinner reception.
It's so grateful to be able to have an area, a window to display out what we do and who we are as a community, and to help our community and to educate our community, because that's exactly what we do on Cross River TV.
Feels like all the work that I've been doing is being recognized.
It's an honor to be nominated on something that is so meaningful to me. I am glad that the BronxNet looked at my show and thought it was worthy of a nomination.
Many Access producers and notable award presenters were also in attendance and described the importance of the Beta Awards.
So little is said about the Bronx sometimes in a good light, and a lot of times people who are doing things are not seen, and people who are doing creative work such as film and TV are not heard about. And the best way to get that out, to get the information out, to get them seen, to know what they're doing in the community on public access, by awarding them and encouraging them, is a great thing.
We really need to preserve and protect the platforms where independent voices that don't have any other access and any other opportunities to come out and work on their craft, develop their skills, their techniques, and also talk and discuss issues that really are important for local communities.
The Bronx should recognize its own, and this is one of the better and best award shows that we have here in the Bronx, so let's keep it going.
BronxNet, it's an organization that we really need in this community. So coming back home and being able to do all the things that I'm doing right now, it's a true honor.
This is about the Bronx. This is as Bronx as you can get, because it's people who talk about the Bronx, it's people who express themselves about the Bronx, and because there are no real major restrictions, it's very open about what they can do. And when you watch the programs and you hear what they have to say, I find it very inspiring.
The Beta Awards continues to recognize and honor the hard work and dedication of independent media makers of the Bronx. I'm Christina Lane for BronxNet.
We're back in the studio. The Beta Awards are always a wonderful celebration, celebrating our public access producers. We do have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. There's more Open coming up next.